right.
Good morning, America.
Hold on.
Oh.
I gotta get my seatbelt on.
Oh, we started, but we're just waiting for your seatbelt?
Yeah.
All right, we're live on the road.
Welcome.
We're on the road.
You gotta say welcome to the Jim Jefferies Show podcast.
Welcome to the Jim Jefferies Show podcast. It's the middle of the day. We're driving through the snow. We're in a minivan going from Manchester to Glasgow. We have 188 miles to go. If you're familiar with the area, we're just passing the turnoff of the A59. Many of you who come from this area will go, I know the A59, and you'll reminisce right now. I just saw a sign to Blackpool, the shittiest place on earth. Blackpool. Don't go there. This podcast is sponsored by the Black People Don't Go There tourism board.
Yeah, you messed that up. You said black people don't go there.
No, Blackpool.
Oh, okay.
Blackpool.
All right,
black people don't go there.
It's been about a week since we podcast. Last time
feels like 5 minutes.
Last time we were podcasting from a private plane.
This is a private car, so a similar thing.
Well, no, but the reason I bring it up is because, we had mentioned that a lot of people might think
that we're fancy.
Yeah, because you took a private plane to fly.
But then the next day we were on Romanian Air, which is called
Tehran.
Yeah, it's a word so close to terrorism. We're on Tehran.
We flew from Stockholm to Tel Aviv on Tehran Airlines, and we went through Bucharest, Romania.
Went through Bucharest. Now, I don't want to seem bigoted or racist. I don't. But I'm going to for this particular thing. If you ever visit Bucharest in Romania, it's, I'm not going to say it's because of the people or whatever, but it smells bad. It's a smelly airport. It's hot. There's people on the floor.
So hot.
There's people on the floor eating ham. Cutting ham up off the floor.
There was a family. That was like the first thing we saw.
Picnic time.
They had a whole ham and bread and some sort of goulash dish. And then we walked past that and then into this big hall that it was easily in the 90s. In there. It was so hot.
Yes, and everyone's skin looked like it was easily in the 90s as well.
And there was no so we were on a private jet day before. There was absolutely no fringe benefits to flying here. And we were flying on an airline that's apparently associated with Delta, and we're like, oh yeah, we're Sky Priority, and the guy with a machine gun basically said, go there.
Go there, join line with everybody else. And we were like, all right, well, it's fair. I'm not too fancy. I don't have to be in a special line, and we'll get through. Yeah. And then I go up to the lounge, which I'm entitled to the lounge because I fly over 150,000 miles a year with the airline.
Yeah.
And then the lady's like, not today.
Yeah. Well, no, because you told them, you're like, I'm supposed to be in business class. And they're like, there's no business class on this airline.
This is not a business class ticket. And I go, but I flew business class for the first leg. You are not in business class. And no one explained to me because business class was not an option.
Yeah.
It was just a whole lot of people who have never flown before. It was like Indiana Jones. There was like a chicken flying around.
there was a goat in the overhead compartment.
Yeah.
And it was me, you, and Shandy all in one row.
We were all in one row, and we had to fly over. And then
farts.
And farts.
Farts
are plenty.
I think the plane was powered by farts. I'm pretty
sure. If you call the airline farts, like the farts got so much that I actually said out loud, whoever's doing that, you're disgusting. You're disgusting. Like I actually did yell that out loud. I know you think I'm joking.
No, you did. I was there. We were very, very. It was. It got so much to where like farts was just the new normal. The smell, like It
got to the stage where you could assume that they thought that their farts made the area smell better.
Yeah,
and it did. Some people's farts.
It did. I was gonna say it actually smelled better than a lot of the people smelled. There was remember the guy in line, and then the security.
Oh, there was a guy in line who looked like a normal human.
Yeah,
he looked fine. It didn't look. There wasn't stink lines around him.
He wasn't like this guy that was like dressed all like he'd been just living in his basement for a year and finally came out, and he looked like a normal guy.
No, he looked like a normal guy who had obviously done a shit in his hand and smeared it over his body before he went out that day.
And then everybody else in the plane did that too. I think it's a Romanian custom.
Yeah, they were like,
before you fly,
it's
good luck.
Wipe shit in your eye.
Very good luck. You take shit. wipe on face, ready to fly.
Yeah, now that was racist, Forrest. But anyway.
Okay, sorry.
So we went there to Romania.
No, we're not done with the flight.
Yeah. So they land.
Yeah.
We land in Tel Aviv, and whilst landing, like you know how like if you land, sometimes there's like an old person who once you landed will stand up, and the air steward will go, "Hey, well, no standing until we come to a complete stop." And the old person's like, "What? I'm getting my bag." You know, like that sometimes happens on plane. Someone confused who doesn't fly very much.
Yeah.
The second the wheels went boom, and by the way, the landing was like.
One of the
First
roughest
time.
ever. I made it.
First time landing.
People clapped.
Everyone was clapping as they landed, like, yeah!
But
And
we bounced around. It was very bouncy.
We bounced around, and then everyone gets up out of their seats.
Like while it's slowing down. Like
the second the wheels hit, everybody gets up. Like, I'm not talking a few people. The entire plane is standing, clapping.
Honestly, I would say 30 to 40 people. Maybe more, though.
The whole aisle was full. More people. Extra people couldn't stand up. The amount of available space they could stand up, and there's like a woman like, no. And so we're all in Tel Aviv, and there's like rabbis standing up, right? And they're all getting their stuff, and we're driving around, and the lady, the air stewardess, is just like, fuck it, just stand up.
She would walk by them. They'd sit down, and she'd walk by them. They'd stand back up. And it was just like chaos.
Now, you know how there's an airplane etiquette that when you're leaving the plane, you have to go row by row. You have to stand up, and then you have to leave by your row, and then you wait for the next row. And it's just a simple bit of courtesy that's how we all do it, right?
Yep.
In fact, the other day I was on a business class flight, and there was a lady who, I guess she was some type of famous reality star or something. She had a little dog, and she pushed by, and I vocalized my issue with it.
Yeah, I almost got in a fight in North Carolina with that guy one time.
I just was like, we're just anarchy now. We're just doing whatever the fuck we want, is it? You have to get off one row earlier than everyone else, do you? I think I may have said you fucking bitch or something. Like, I was pretty, because it's, you know how I am with airplanes. I'm on them so much, I cannot hold in emotions on airplanes. Is that my phone?
Yeah, but it makes a noise on the thing. It's too close to the recorder.
Anyway, so they all started getting off, and I turned to Forrest and I said, they're never going to solve this Israel-Palestine thing. Like, if you're on one side or another and you have voiced your opinion and you're like, no, this person's right, this person's wrong, don't even waste your fucking time.
Yeah.
Not being fixed. Not being fixed because they can't fucking do the thing with the rows and the airplanes. Start with that. Start with the rows and the airplanes.
Not only that, they were swimming upstream to get their luggage, like upstream of the people. And then, as we mentioned earlier, lots of shit smeared for good luck. And it was just like the smelliest people rubbing up against you.
The smelliest people trying to get off a fucking plane all at once. Just a bum fucking shit fight. And then you go down, and then, like, the biggest model in Israel is Jeremy Meeks.
Yeah.
The guy.
By the way, just to mention, for the next 3 days after this flight, you were deathly ill.
I had to see doctors, antibiotics. I'm still sick.
Yeah, but you were in.
I'm on my second course of antibiotics.
You were in a world of
hurt.
So.
But I blame the Romanians.
Yep.
I got some type of shit on skin. Like I breathed it in, and I got sick.
Yep. If you're not a gymnast, you're basically doomed to that life. So.
Yeah, and I went in. This show in Israel was one of my faves. I had a great time.
Now, once we got off the plane in Israel, everything changed. They met us right at the end of the jetway.
Everything changed. It was the first time I ever had this. You're a celebrity. You get a special car from your plane through the airport, through a different terminal, through everything. Like the people of Israel were fucking very nice to us.
Yeah, they're very hospitable.
Jeremy Meeks, the guy who had the mugshot with the teardrop eye tattoo.
Yeah.
He's the biggest model over there. He's all over the airport.
Everywhere.
Yeah. There's people losing their jobs over the Me Too campaign, but it just shows that if you're extraordinarily good looking, you can commit any crime and we're good.
Yeah, you'll be huge in Israel. They don't care about that.
They don't give a fuck. He's advertising glasses.
So we did a couple field pieces in Israel.
We did a thing about circumcision. Of course, a lot of Jews out there. The Jews love the circumcision. I'm circumcised. Forrest is circumcised. I'm sure other people listening to the podcast are circumcised.
Some aren't.
Some aren't. Some are. Some are happy. Some are not happy. But, look, who's truly happy with their dick? Who looks at their dick every day like, perfection? We all want a little bit more, a little bit less, a little bit of thing.
You trim it?
Yeah, less hair. I like less hair.
Yeah. Hair removal?
I've had ingrown hairs at the base of my dick, and they're a pain in the ass. I've had to deal with them. You know, it's a constant battle to keep the thing smelling nice, looking nice. You know, but I do my best. And I think any lady who's enjoyed my penis, so to the two of you women, well done. To the rest of you who have had to onerously do things with it, sorry. Thank you for your time at the, at the company. I congratulate you. Your silver watch is coming.
It's a lot of silver watches.
It is a lot of silver watches.
So we did a field piece. You stayed in your room most of the time because you're sick if you weren't working, which was good. I went to Jerusalem, and I remember you told me when you go to Israel, everybody will tell you want to eat their hummus.
Oh yeah. You come here. This hummus is the best.
They are the best.
And I said on stage actually, and they wrote a review of the show, and where they mentioned this, but there's good hummus and there's bad hummus. Stop acting like there's different grades in between. Either your hummus is good, or your hummus is shit.
And then one of the highlights of the trip so far was Jim got to do a talk show. I gotta look up his name, but he is the Jimmy Fallon of Israel.
They get there and they go, and tonight you're doing the Jimmy Fallon of Israel. He is very excited to have you on the show. Happy fun hour. And you're going to go do this show. And I'm like, all right. And so we did a field piece right before the show where I sat down and had a beer with a rabbi, a Muslim, and a Christian pastor. I think it was a linguine.
Was it?
No, Christian pastor. Little joke. Anyway, so we sat down and I talked religion for a bit. And it was a nice field piece. I was nice and respectful, but still, called them idiots.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I think you did that.
Yeah. And so we sat there and we had beers, and the idea was we were going to drink. The Muslim guy wouldn't drink, obviously. Anyway, they didn't want their beers, so I drank their beers as well. And that wasn't set up. They all wanted Diet Coke.
Don't give that away. That's one of the jokes.
No, it doesn't matter. But okay. Diet Coke is obviously the beverage of the religious.
I know. They all wanted it.
They all wanted Diet Coke. They were very exact. They all wanted Diet Coke. So they had their Diet Coke. And what happened after that? So I was a little drunk. I wasn't James quoted. But afterwards I said to Forrest, I said, fuck, we got to do that Tonight Show. Me and Forrest had a shot of tequila, and then we went down there.
We got in a cab.
We got in a cab. We go down there. Now, what happens is when you do these late night shows, and I've done them all, kids. I've done them all, except for James Corden. But I've done all the other ones, except for Seth Meyers. Except for Seth Meyers and James Corden, I've done everyone. Right?
Everyone?
I've done Fallon, Kimmel, Conan, Colbert. And I've done them all. I would have loved to have done Letterman, but it's not available.
Got a new show.
It's not available. I wouldn't have given a shit if I did Leno. That wouldn't have bothered me either way. But I would have liked to have done Letterman.
Still trying to find this guy's name. That's how popular he is.
Anyway, so we go down. Now, ordinarily what happens is I'm going to give away a bit of TV magic for you all. Before you do these TV shows, they ring you up and they go, Jim, what stories? And I say, my kid said something stupid. I did something stupid at work, blah, blah, blah. Or sometimes I just make something up and lie. Anyway, so I normally do that. I have a pre-interview, and then they ring, the day you show up, they go, hey, the host liked this story. And so they sort of try to work a question in where you tell that story. And some hosts, they told footnotes to the story so that they can naturally laugh while you're telling it. Yeah. And so some hosts say that they don't even want to know the story. They just want to know a question so they can naturally react to the whole thing. But none of them know the story from beginning to end.
And then you show up, and they go over it with you again.
And then you show up an hour and a half before, and someone goes over it again with you before. They check your wardrobe. They screen test your wardrobe to see how it's going to look on camera. Do
you need anything? Here's your dressing room.
There's your dressing room. Yeah. Here's who the other guest is.
It's usually a really nice. You walk in and there's like pictures on the walls of all the famous guests that have been there.
Yeah, and there's like famous guests that go in there. There's always a little gift.
Yeah, there's
There's always a gift for you. There's always a gift. And the gift is normally like, say, like a hoodie with the name of the show on it.
Yep.
And then something like a box of cupcakes.
And then
There's
usually
always like a perishable and a non-perishable gift.
host will come in, say hi to you, especially if you've done the show a couple times, but usually they'll always come in.
Sometimes the host will say hi. Sometimes the host just want to meet you out there. Like I've only met Colbert whilst I was on screen with him. Anyway, so, but you know, like Conan always comes back.
But you talk to producers and all that.
You talk to producers and all that type of stuff. So anyway, this show, who they call the Jimmy Fallon of Israel, la 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 la.
Still trying to find his name. What's his name?
Shandy's got it. Shandy, remember we're in the car. So Shandy, our tour manager,
yeah.
he's just reached back.
Okay. Here we go. Just so we have context. He's, his name is Guri Alfi. And
Guri Alfi.
His show is called,
Guri Alfi.
his show is called out Hayam Balaya.
Which stands for Tonight Live.
I'm trying to read it right. I'm not trying to be an asshole. Hayom, Hayom Balaya. With Guri Alfi. Monday night, Jefferies.
Everyone tells you he's the second biggest comic in Israel. I don't know who the biggest one is, but he even said to me on screen, I am the second biggest comic in Israel.
Yeah, and
he's a very nice man.
he was nice.
I have no issue with him. He was a fun fella.
So we pull up in the cab. We walk through this parking lot to where like you would walk into like where the dressing rooms are and stuff. There's a foosball table that's blocking the doorway almost. You almost can't get through the doorway because there's a foosball table.
Yeah, you can't get through it. And who looks like a lot of local homeless children are playing on it.
Just playing foosball. So you have to kind of shimmy around the foosball table to get into where the backstage would be. And then there's two dressing rooms.
The two teams are Israel and Palestine.
There's a bathroom that definitely has not been cleaned in weeks.
No. It's the same cleaners from the airline.
Yeah, so the only gift you're going to get is some sort of
and they have that, you know that thing when like you want to make something look tacky where you have that like silver glistening.
Oh, like it was like the ribbons.
Yeah, it's like little ribbon of silver shiny things like if you want to
hanging in a doorway.
Yeah, if you want to do a parody of like a Star Search show on SNL, you'd have that hanging in the background.
Yeah.
Like, welcome to Stars of Tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it had that stuff that hanging down. And then they come in, and then a guy like, oh, the show's over this way, and I was like, oh, okay.
One other thing though is that somebody came up and said, I was like, what's the audience like? And you're like, they're like 14 to 40, and I was like, 14 years old, and they're like, yeah, but to 40. They kept saying that.
They're 14 to 40.
They weren't. They were all about 14 to 18.
14 to 18.
Very young Nickelodeon style audience.
Yeah, he's sort of like, because afterwards he walked out, he's like a pop star to them that he's got.
Oh yeah, God, yeah. And so you've been in here probably a minute and a half tops.
Less.
Yeah, maybe.
Less than a minute.
Yeah.
Less than a minute. So I walk in, I look at the foosball, I look at the toilet, go, I won't use that. And they go, hey, the show's over here. And then they go, Jim Jefferies! And then they play the Jim Jefferies theme song. And I walk out, and everyone's dancing.
It's on. Like the show's on.
Everyone's up and dancing like they're Balki Bartokomous from fucking Perfect Strangers. That's an odd reference.
Yeah.
You got kids, look it up.
But here's the thing that I found out later, though, too, because you just walked in and walked on stage. They were basically holding the show till you got there, almost.
Yeah.
So, but they weren't even like, okay, like, hey, you want a second? Would you like a water? And then he's here, now say his name. He's just
like we were dicking about. We didn't even know if we were there early or whatever, but no, we just dicking about and we came over to the show.
Yeah.
So we're on TV, and then they're like, let's do promos.
They were speaking Hebrew too. They weren't even speaking English.
And then they're like, ha 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 ha. And I'm like,
some guy came out in a purple leather jacket.
I'm sitting there, and then they brought out a guy with a purple leather jacket who was a famous actor or a local actor. Like, look, a lot of these TV shows don't work well in Australia. They have to do them once a week because there's just not enough celebrities to go around to do a nightly show. So that's why these shows only really work in America. So I don't know how you do it every night in Israel. So me being in town is like a get for them. I'm not bragging.
No. They were
like it's a famous someone.
Put it this way: the whole show. I watched the show the other night. It's all in Hebrew, and you speak English, so they had you on the show because they wanted to have you on there just as English. there's the actor. Shandy's holding him up right
Shandy's
now.
holding the actor. So there was a guy on before, purple actor, and he
purple. He was in purple. His jacket was purple.
He was from a show that a comedy about the Gaza Strip called Crossing Officer.
Was he?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm making this up. Called the Crossing Guy.
By the way, the Jim Jefferies show, the band played it. I don't know. Are they allowed?
The Jim Jefferies show plays in Israel. No, we liked that they did that.
No, I know we liked. Yeah, we don't. That's literally the only song we can sing on the show. By the way, without.
Yeah, we were.
I have video of that too. We'll try and post all that. The video of them playing the theme song, and then also. So, anyways, tell them what happened.
So I'm there.
Tell me your mindset.
I'm there. I've got a terrible cold, and I've also downed 3 beers and a tequila. And so my mindset was, I don't want to just sit there and answer questions. I thought, why don't I just go in there and cause a whole lot of mayhem? Do like the old, those old Robin Williams late night shows where he's just walking around and fucking dancing with the audience and fucking, playing with people's hair and shit.
That's what you did.
And that's what I did. I went in there and said, hey, I just been speaking to a Jew and a rabbi, like that, right? And then, it's all a haze after that. You could probably tell me what happened.
Okay, so you sat on the thing after the promo, and basically you walked up to the camera and stuck your face in it. They brought up 2 giant beers. You started drinking some more beer. You played with the band?
Yeah.
The guy that's the host goes, I can play the drums. He goes, you made fun of the band saying, you guys just picked these guys up off the street. And then he goes, I can play the drums. So he went to go play the drums. So then you grabbed the guitar.
That's obviously this guy's go-to when he wants the audience to go off is he plays the drums a bit. I went over.
Watch this.
I said, I can play guitar. Now, I can't play guitar.
Never had one lesson.
Never had a lesson. But I vaguely knew 2 chords. And so and like all the people who work with me, all like the people from the Jim Jefferies show and Forrest and Shandy were all standing in the wing, and they all looked at each other like, can Jim play the guitar? And you all universally went, no, we're pretty sure he can't.
No, I knew you couldn't play the guitar. I was like, this is going to sound like shit. But you knew a chord.
I knew 2 chords.
And the bass player walked over and looked at what you were playing and kind of helped you out a little bit too.
Yeah.
But and I have that video.
We can play this song because it's my song.
I'm going to play it now. I think we can play it here.
It's my song.
Pretty good song.
There we go. That's me. That's me playing guitar.
Wait, it's going to pick up here.
Oh, yeah, shit. Did I change the chord there?
So pretty good. I think we can play that, and the lawyers will let us know, I'm sure.
It's my song.
Oh, yeah, it is your song. You
wrote it.
Well, the bass player might have written it, too. So.
No,
we have that video. We'll post some of these videos after the podcast for you guys to look at. Then after that...
I kissed the host.
Yeah, you kissed the host, and you guys held hands, and they closed.
I feel like it's a fairly, it's not as progressive a society as everywhere else. So I thought, this will be controversial if another man holds another man's hand on TV. So I just held his hand, in support of both homosexuals and the Me Too campaign. I held the guy's hand.
You did, and they played Let's Get It On or
they
something
played
like that.
Let's Get It On because I held his hand, and so we just kissed, and that guy...
That was the end of the thing.
That was the end of
He goes, Jim Jefferies.
And his career, he's since been lynched. He's been hung up at a town square. We got out just in time.
Now, your face at the end of it, I know you can't, I don't know if I showed it to you yet. Yeah, I think I showed it to you. It's really funny. So I ended up watching it later that night. They're like, it's on later that night. The whole point was for you to sell more... Like, you were pretty much almost sold out this arena, and then
it was like 6,000 tickets in Israel. We were at 5,150 or something.
Yeah, and then when you sell more. So I watched the show. I recorded it. A lot of stuff was taken out, but they kept the kissing. So
they kept the kissing. We sold another 50 tickets. It was all worthwhile.
Yeah, 50 tickets.
50 extra tickets.
And then you got mobbed by teenagers after the show.
And then I got mobbed by teenagers, yeah. That was the only place we did on tour where after the gig there was people waiting at the stage door and I got mobbed a bit.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Have you ever done anything like that? Like after the gig, not the show.
Yeah, after the gig. Like when we were leaving the dressing room, there was like about maybe 400 people just standing around the door.
Yeah. It was a fun show.
They were like, We like you. You like me.
That's how they were. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they wrote the review, and my manager rings me up and they go, "Did you go up to someone in the audience and go, 'What are you doing here? You don't look very Jewy'?" And I said, "I can't quite remember that, but if it's in the review, I assume I did." But that's what I hate about when people write about comedy that's out of context. Like, if you just say that, that sounds like I said something bad.
Yeah, I know.
But when you're in a sea of 6,000 Jews and there's some guy that looks like Dolph Lundgren, it's worth mentioning.
Yeah, it's true. But they said best show ever.
Best show ever.
Yeah, so we're off to London. There's a good segue.
We're off to fucking London.
We did one show in Birmingham, and then we went back to London.
And then we went to London, recorded a new special, and I think the second take was a little bit better. I think my performance maybe in the first take was a bit better.
Both takes are great, but yeah, the second audience was a little bit rowdier.
After I do a special, I always worry where's my best one. This special's a lot more story-based than the last two. It's back sort of to what I was doing, and I swear to God, it's stories and sex. Because I feel like I do so much politics on the TV show that in my stand-up life, it's like now I'm a prostitute who goes home and doesn't have sex. You know what I mean? So I don't get super political in my stand-up anymore.
Just write letters to people. This is the way it should be. Yeah, I thought it was very good. And
so just as surprised, they just go, like, I didn't even know he was in town. And they were like, Chris Rock is upstairs for when we did the second show. And I was like, wow, Michelle Wolf was supporting him. And Michelle,
she was there.
She's a tremendous comedian, just had an HBO special, used to be a correspondent on The Daily Show. And so I was like, all right, cool. We we hung out, and then afterwards, I blame Shandy for this.
Here's the thing. No, but let me just say, Chris Rock came to see you. He's a fan of yours, which you had heard of, but didn't really know for sure.
I'd heard that he'd liked my stand-up, that he'd mentioned radio, but I'd never met him before.
They were upstairs. We had a couple drinks before the show, and then he came to watch the show, but not backstage. He went into the audience. So during your set, I went on the side door to look at the audience, and I asked the security guard, I go, "Hey, where's Chris Rock?" And he pointed to him. He was sitting 12 rows back or 13 rows back, front center, him and Michelle, whatever, and just sitting in the middle of the crowd, enjoying and stuff. Which, it's not normal for somebody like that. That would be that famous.
It's also, I did not see one tweet. No one even noticed.
Yeah,
no one noticed.
I think people didn't want to be racist. Maybe they'd be like, "Is that Chris Rock?" And be like, "What do you think? We all look alike?" Or whatever. Yeah. But he sat right, and he was enjoying the shit out of it. He definitely enjoyed it. He even told you so after. So
he came back. He was very sweet. He said it was real great. Blah 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 blah. I know. By that stage, I'd taken a shot as soon as I got off stage because I hadn't been really hitting it hard because I've been trying to lose the weight for the special, which is probably my fattest special because I'm normally I do a special where I haven't sort of gigged for 3 weeks and I exercise and that sort of stuff, but I've been on the road.
No one cares about your weight.
I do. I'm just saying.
Probably my fattest special.
That the hell I've been going through.
I've only been able to eat wings before 10 p.m.
I eat chicken wings still because I believe that they're dietary because there's no bread.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I very good chicken wings in Sweden. They were little tiny ones.
Gothenburg, they're great.
Everyone was like, "Why are these wings so tiny?" And then we figured out, because they're not pumped full of steroids.
Yeah, normal size chickens.
You're not meant to have chicken wings the size of your hand. These are actual chickens, and this is the right size meat. It was one of those ones where it's like we put them in Coca-Cola for 10 days. Anyway. So we go to a place called the Groucho Club, but the Groucho Club is a very, very exclusive club, like Soho House or anything like that. But they open till 3, which is late for London, and they said they'd give us a little room to have a few drinks after the special.
Yep.
Everything was organised. And then Chris Rock was coming to meet us afterwards.
It's on the list.
On the list.
Definitely on the list.
Definitely on the list. And he sent in, I think...
Tony,
who's one of his, tour manager or something.
Yeah, tour manager, kind of takes care of him on the road.
Yeah. And he's like, "Hey, we're here." And they're like, "Oh, no, we don't know who Chris Rock is. Some fucking 19-year-old fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Some fucking moron.
Not on the list."
He was like, "Chris Rock?" And they go, "Yeah, you can't find him on the list." "Well, it's Chris Rock." "Yeah, I don't know who Chris Rock is. This is members only." And then Chris is obviously one of those cool guys because I'm not in that situation.
Yeah.
I get a little bit, Google me.
Yeah. No, he's very chill. I never met him.
He's very chill and a very
so,
sweet guy. Yeah. And he's like, "All right, I don't, if I'm not on your list, I'm not on your fucking list." And so he didn't show up.
Wasn't mean, just polite, left.
It wasn't polite.
But we found out about it maybe 15 minutes later.
About 15 minutes later because Michelle Wolf came in and she was up for a drink.
Yeah,
And-
they were able to get back in, the other people later, but that was because we found out about it, and then went downstairs. Someone had a talking to. That's the best way. I'll put it.
They put the management down and they said to the 19-year-old girl working on the counter, "Did you turn away Chris Rock?" And she was like, "Yes." "Did you turn away Chris Rock?" She goes, "Who's Chris Rock?" And,
The Rock?
Yeah, and they're like, and she's
Dwayne
like,
Johnson?
she's like, "Why would I know who Chris Rock is?" And the beautiful answer came out, "Because he's Chris Rock." It's like there's that famous footage of after the Grammys where fucking
Paul McCartney
and Beck, and it was someone else. It's Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl, Paul McCartney, and Beck try to get into an after party at the Hyde, which is the nightclub over the road from the Laugh Factory, and they get turned away because they're not on the list.
Yeah, it's Paul McCartney. Yeah.
Fucking Paul McCartney.
Here's the thing, though.
Paul McCartney doesn't handle it as cool as Chris Rock did. Paul
Here's the
McCartney
thing,
does
though.
this. How much more fucking famous do you have to be? You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Here's the
I
thing.
just came up here to go out for a drink. I'm fucking 80 years old.
Here's the thing, though, is that if you're running an exclusive club, where
Yeah.
it's like, hey, this is very exclusive. Like, that's literally the only thing you need to know. It's like who people are.
Yeah, who people are. And if someone says something with a little bit of authority, just Google. Just have a little Google.
Yeah. But anyways, Chris ended up going back to his hotel, but Michelle Wolf came back, and a couple other people that were with Chris Rock. And so...
And then my management and my agent flew out just for one day to London.
Yeah.
Now, I got a manager, Tim, who and my touring manager, Nick, who are pretty fucking busy.
Another manager, but he was sick.
My other manager was sick, but
Alex.
I got an Australian manager called Andrew. Now Andrew cuts loose. Andrew's with you the whole way. You never like Andrew's a very irresponsible manager in the sense that if you have a show the next night, he goes, "You'll be right. Keep drinking." He never goes, "You better get to bed. We have an important show tomorrow."
Never said that.
Never said that. No, he's never.
Yeah, I've toured with you with Andrew. I don't think he's ever said that. It's never been like,
Andrew's
take it easy, man,
Andrew's
guys.
just like that. Let's keep going. I'll wheel you out there and prop you up. You'll get just tell your jokes shitty tomorrow. It won't be an issue.
Yeah.
So Andrew, we can rely on that. This is the first time I've seen Nick a little bit. First time I've seen Tim cut loose.
Yeah. Nothing crazy, but he had some drinks.
No, but we had some drinks. I'd never seen him even have a drink. And
it was fun.
He had a couple of drinks and he fucking, so we all went out and just boozed it up on the Friday.
Yeah.
And then last night and Saturday, we didn't get a lot of sleep.
Nope.
I would like to thank the people of Manchester because I didn't tell you about this because I didn't want you to feel it. But I was feeling fucking rough.
Yeah. But you had a great show.
I was feeling rough.
That might have been the show of the whole
That
tour,
was
man.
It made me feel bad about the special because the show in Manchester was so fucking good the next night.
Nah, the shows in London were awesome, but just Manchester, whatever. Because I walked out there and I was like really weary, and I was kind of like almost not getting my words out right. And the first show came out, and they were so good in Manchester that I immediately got that energy. I felt good. I was like, oh, thank you guys so much. This was like this.
Yeah, I have a long history with Manchester. I was robbed here. I was also punched on stage, and the Manchester people have always. It was the first place in the world where I started selling theatres out was in Manchester. They've always had, for whatever reason, a little bit of ownership over me, and they like a heckle.
They heckled me a lot at the beginning, but it was fun. I got into it.
I had a weird heckle in Manchester, which sometimes people think you set these things up so you can do some material. But a guy yelled out, "It's your mum's birthday today."
And it's not?
Well, okay, there's two options here. It's not, first of all.
Okay.
But if it is, I'm getting a restraining order against that person. You know too much.
Oh, yeah.
You're too
Why would
close.
you know that?
You're too close now. It's not on any Wikipedia when my mum's birthday is. You've done a lot of fucking work, right? But
Yeah.
also, even if you do know that, why? What are you doing? What is the thought process in a man who yells out, "It's your mum's birthday today"?
Yeah, it's not even like a burn. It's just like, it's either factual or just like, all right, well, thanks
Your
for yelling
mum's
that out.
birthday today.
I don't know. Well, let's, I want to say something, just bringing this back.
We're not going. I'm still talking because we've got like fucking another 120
I'm not
miles.
saying we're wrapping it up. I'm just saying, so I've been over here. Now we've been over in Scandinavian countries, Israel, and
The women love forest.
Now Britain.
They're like, it's the first time they've seen an actual bear.
They call me the dancing bear.
Yeah, they're like, oh, look, he's well-mannered. He doesn't have hook through his nose with chain.
He speaks.
Dancing bear. I meet a lot of crazy dancing bear.
But I've been watching the news over here.
Yeah.
And the news over here, there's no talking heads. I mean, there's people that delivered, obviously, but there's no people like, we've got a Democrat, we got a Republican, we got somebody from here, we got somebody from here. We're going to give their opinion and stuff. They basically just say the news.
No, the news in America has become opinion pieces, our show included, and I've always said it's an opinion piece, we don't do a news show, we do an opinion show. But in America, they've started to call opinions news. Opinions aren't news. News is facts. News is just like, this is what's going on, this is what's being said, this is who said it, this is when it was said.
And it really makes you see, I mean, you know how much of a shit show is going on in America right now with our government, but you can see it a lot more when you see the news over here, just because they're not even saying like opinions, they're just saying, and this happened, the government's shutting down. And shithole countries.
It used to be like that in America. It used to be like that in America because I was watching those documentaries, the 70s, the 60s, the 80s, the 90s. And I saw a documentary on Vietnam. And there was a moment when Walter Cronkite, right? When he said he gave his opinion on Vietnam.
Yeah.
And before that, he used to just go, this many soldiers have died. Blah, 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 blah. And then he actually went, this war cannot go on as long as people about it. And it was like a moment in news where they went, wow, Walter gave his opinion.
Yep.
Right?
Fucking Walter ruined it.
And now everybody gives their opinions. We hear their opinions from fucking all of them.
There's even stuff on the news here, like where they were showing stuff from Syria where nobody was saying anything. They just showed you footage of like different things that were going on in Syria. Like there was like a chemical attack and there was... Nobody was saying anything over it. You were just watching the imagery of it. And it was effective, but it was also like you're just watching this. We're not saying blah blah blah. Here's our opinion. It's not. It was.
Now to explain, I think the BBC make the best news. The BBC, there are about 4 TV channels. There are about 8 radio channels, and the TV channels are just like 1 entertainment, 2 entertainment, one's BBC 1, BBC 2, and then there's like BBC News. Now, what you don't understand is that everybody in Britain actually pay taxes, and the BBC is government run. It's the British Broadcast Company or whatever the fuck it's called, corporation. Anyway, so it's not owned by an individual. It's not privately owned. Now I know there's people at home they're going to go, but the government owns it. The government can blah 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 blah. No, it's run by a separate entity. It's not run by the Prime Minister or something like that. So it is impartial. It's not like a tycoon who owns a channel who has their opinion or who has an idea. And also the ratings don't matter. Because
it's non-profit, you said, or do we know that?
It's non-profit. There's no commercials. There's no commercials.
Yep.
What happens is with Britain, everyone has to pay a TV license.
Yeah.
Your TV license is about $120 a year, and it used to be the BBC just existed. So the BBC, the BBC made things like Fawlty Towers, and they made The Office, and they made, and they make comedy shows and dramas and blah blah blah, right? But their news is far more impartial than if you go Fox or CNN, which have their it has less agenda.
It almost, when you first start watching it almost seems boring.
Yeah,
but it's not. But you're used to so much like graphics and music and all this stuff, and like they make jokes, and you're used to that. So you're not used to just somebody saying, "And here are the facts." It's like it's weird, but I like it. I'm used to it now. I've been watching it like the whole trip and stuff, and I'm telling you, it. Look, people can say what they want in the comment section of our show, and people that are Trump supporters, this and that, whatever. It's like, and I know some people don't care what other countries think and stuff. It's like, but we look like a shit show right now. It's not good, and there's no opinions being said. It's not like, oh, Trump. They're just saying what's happening, like the way that our government's running. And it doesn't look great on the Democrats either. I tell you, it's the whole country. It's not like Republican, Democrat. They just look at America and they're like, well, America's having a moment right now.
I lived here during the George W. Bush era.
Right.
I actually moved to America when, like, the day that Obama was inaugurated.
Yeah.
And there was an era over here where, see, this is what you don't know about what Obama did. Whether you like Obama or hate Obama or Obama. And like, there's arguments for Trump right now. I'm not going to take away that the stock market is fucking booming. Now, he probably doesn't deserve the credit.
But yeah, whatever. It's happening during his presidency.
But if you want to give me these statistics, I can't refute them, right?
Yeah.
Now, but what I will tell you is a fact. When
Mar-a-Lago's never been better.
Yes. What I will tell you as a fact is when George W. Bush was in power, you guys were seen as a bit like international opinion of America was very low.
Yeah.
And just Obama fixed that completely, especially here in Britain and in Australia.
I don't know because I wasn't here. The opinion that's not even the opinion, the optics of it, watching it, is that our government is in disarray. Whereas with George Bush, his opinion of it might be low, but I don't think anyone thought our government was in disarray.
No, but that's the point I'm getting to.
Yeah.
It's worse now than it was.
Yeah.
Now people are like, George W. was all right.
Yeah, the government was running properly, at least.
Because they're just giving the stats. They're just saying, he said, shithouse countries, this many people have been fired.
Yeah, government shutdowns going on.
But it's like they weren't making fun of him like the whole thing. They're just like the other day. He's 239 pounds.
Yeah.
He's not. That means he's 30 pounds heavier than me, and he's fucking 3 inches taller.
Wasn't he the same dimensions as Albert Pujols?
No. Albert Pujols is a pound heavier.
Albert Pujols,
Albert Pujols is the
professional baseball player.
Same height, 240.
But at he's in the twilight of his career, but he's one of the
greatest,
in the Hall of Fame.
He'd be a top 20 player.
Yeah, he's an athlete. He's an athlete that's in shape, not like this. Yeah, it's crazy. Very
240
muscular.
pounds, same height.
Yeah. So he basically could crush 50 home runs a year, Trump, right now.
Trump's ass is the same size as Albert Pujols. Like, if you look at Trump is an arsey man. For a person who doesn't like the blacks, he's sure got an ass.
So the women's bar. They report on everything. But just the way that you think. I forgot what I was going to say. But doesn't matter.
Yeah, but they just report it and then they just go, and then they go, and here's the scores from the football.
Oh,
Carlisle beats Reading.
I just remembered the only time they ever made fun of Trump that I've seen over here, not that like on television, wasn't in a newscast. It was an advertisement for Premier League football, soccer.
Oh no, they're making fun of him on comedy shows.
They have a cartoon of Trump doing something, and it's promoting their soccer games here. Football, as they call it, yeah.
Well, they're very happy because he was meant to be coming out to open the new embassy, and he got cancelled, and people are happy about that.
Where are we now? What's this area?
Well, we're driving. We're going up. We're up to going.
Are we in England still?
No, we're on the border really of England and Scotland. It's snowing.
Do we know, Mike?
Not yet. We're up
Mike's our driver.
We're up near Newcastle at the moment. We wouldn't be going towards Newcastle. We'd be going up the other side.
This is really pretty. There's like mountains now. Because before it's been flat, yeah. That's snow covered. You wouldn't see this that often.
You're going to see some of the Highlands of Scotland, yeah.
But Braveheart.
Yeah, we'll never take our freedom.
Is everybody in kilts?
But then they got the option of leaving England and Great Britain.
Yeah.
And they went, we'll just stay for a little longer. After all that freedom. And they didn't take it.
I don't know. Is this going to be a rough crowd tonight in Scotland?
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah?
Well, okay, this is the problem. It's a wild town, Glasgow.
Yeah.
Edinburgh's a little bit more refined, and I know there's some Glaswegians right now listening to us like, no,
Glaswegians.
Cool. It's like, how does a person from Scotland talk to the dead?
With a
Glaswegian board.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
Got that one, Shandy? There's a joke for you. Take that back to Norway.
Yeah. Anyway, so the problem is tonight there'll be hecklers. Hecklers are plenty. And you won't understand a word they're saying.
Yeah.
Not a word.
Are they going to understand me?
They'll understand you fine.
Yeah.
This is one of the thickest accents you will ever hear.
Oh, yeah? I love it.
It's worth, we'll go into a fish and chip shop and order something just to...
I'm going to rank the English speaking on this tour at the end, by the way. All the countries we visited all speak English to some degree. Obviously, in England, that's their language, but I'm going to rank it best English to worst.
What have you enjoyed the most so far?
English speakers?
Yeah.
Well, I really like London.
London's Cockney's
awesome,
your easiest, yeah.
Yeah, London's going to be the easiest. Probably, and then another city in England, probably Manchester after that. And Then we're going to go out of England. Surprising. We're not going to go to Birmingham. Birmingham's behind Israel, probably.
Manchester has what I consider to be quite a cool accent.
Yeah, it is cool. I was listening to them I think that better English is being spoken in other countries than Birmingham and obviously probably Scotland.
Yeah, well, English people can't understand the Scottish. This isn't going to be you being American.
Yeah.
I've been in shops with English friends of mine whilst touring Scotland, and we're both going, what? What?
But it's right here.
Yep.
That they're right near all these people speaking English the other way. Like, how?
Yep.
It's the mountains?
It's just, I think they do it to be difficult.
Oh.
I really do. I really think the Scots do it just to upset others. Because when you say, excuse me, what did you say? They can soften up their accent, but they don't. They double down. You're not paying attention.
I am. I'm just reading about Eric Trump thinks the shutdown is a good thing for us. Sorry.
Also, facts about Scotland. Only country in the world where Coca-Cola doesn't sell the most.
What sells the most?
Iron Brew.
What's Iron? Iron Brew is a soda? A sweet drink?
Iron Brew's a soda.
What is it?
We'll have a couple of Iron Brews when we're up there.
Are they good?
I don't think so, but...
What's wrong with Scotland?
Iron Brews, they have their own soda. They have a vodka and Iron Brew.
And you know Coca-Cola's tried everything to make, because Coca-Cola doesn't stop till the winners.
But that's the whole thing. Even the Scots don't enjoy Iron Brew. They're doing it to be difficult.
You had some drink the other day, black currant.
Ribena. Ribena's delicious.
Yeah, I don't know what a black currant is.
I have Ribena at my home. I ordered it in the cordial so I can make it at home.
Yeah, a cordial?
Cordial, yeah.
Nice little cordial.
Oh, it's lovely on a summer's day. I think the pre-mixed Ribena is too strong. I like it watered down a bit. Now, other things you'll know about Scotland. I think it's Edinburgh. Oh, no, it's Glasgow. It's Glasgow. The hometown of Gordon Ramsay. But he lost his accent.
He's Scottish?
Yeah.
Scottish?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Isn't Craig Ferguson Scottish?
Craig Ferguson is Scottish.
You could still hear his, but I guess it's... Where's he from? Glasgow or Edinburgh? Is that only two cities, basically?
Yeah, I think he is from Glasgow, Craig
He's
Ferguson.
lost it. It's not his thick, I would say, right? He still sounds Scottish.
Sean Connery's from Edinburgh.
Isn't Shrek from Scotland?
Now, here we go.
Where's Shrek from?
I want to talk about
Shrek.
I want to talk about all the different Me Too things that have gone on.
Where's Shrek from?
Shrek's from Scotland, but it's Mike Myers.
Okay.
Anyway, I want to talk about all the different things that have gone on. Now,
are we segueing?
All the actors that... No, we're keeping it in this realm.
Okay.
All the actors have gone down. Somehow Sean Connery hasn't been affected.
All the James Bonds.
No, but I do a joke about all the James Bond. I'm just talking about Sean Connery. There's video footage of Sean Connery on YouTube. You can look it up.
Well, they're going to have to if we're going to air this, so yeah.
No, you can check. I'm not making this up.
Yeah.
Where Sean Connery just admits to slapping women.
What?
He just in an interview. I think he didn't even bring it up. He just goes, sometimes you have to slap a woman. You have to just give him a firm hit across the face. Like he says something on these lines. So check this up.
Okay.
And then he goes, because this is the thing with women. Sometimes they just won't let it go. Or he says something along that lines.
Wow.
And this is an interview. And this is an interview from the 1980s. And he kept working, and he could be back in films tomorrow. No one would give a shit.
Yeah, he's probably done with films at this point. But
no, I think he's retired because he's an old fella.
That might be part of it, though. It's like he's like not doing anything anymore.
No.
You don't think? Because there's got to be other stories. There's got to be stories.
He's been married for a long time. He used to cheat on his wife loads, allegedly. There's an old story about Sean Connery about.
Is this on YouTube?
This is a myth. This is a pub story.
Okay.
So I am neither saying this story is 100% correct or 100% wrong, but I've been told this story.
Scottish tale.
This is just a ye olde tale.
I don't know how to speak Scottish.
Anyway, so he's up at St Andrews, famous golf club.
In Scotland.
Scotland, where golf was invented.
They hate Trump, though.
So he's up in St Andrews, playing golf. He's there with some executives, let's say from the BBC. And he's up there with these executives, and they're all fucking. They get to the 9th hole, and they're trying to get fucking Sean to do the voice of this Animal Planet or whatever, narrate something, and go, since time has begun. You know, he was the original casting of Gandalf, and then turned it down in the end.
Really?
Yep.
He would have been good too, but
Yep.
what's his face?
Yep.
What's his name?
Yeah.
That guy. That old guy.
Yeah.
Not Christopher Plummer, the other guy.
There's going to be some stuff come out about him one day.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Allegedly.
Oh, I know a story. Anyway.
Story.
I do a story about one of our writers. And Gandalf. Anyway.
One of our writers?
Yes, one of our writers on our show, Gandalf, took a shine to him at the Edinburgh Festival in a bar one time.
Ooh, I can guess which one.
Yes.
Because he was a cute lass.
Ian McKellen.
Ian McKellen,
Yeah, Ian McKellen. And I think my friend may have said something to him when he was being hit on by Ian McKellen. None shall pass. And then everything was fine.
You shall not
Yeah,
get in his pants.
But I think Ian McKellen was pushing the issue a little harder than he should have. Anyway, so Sean Connery is up at St Andrews playing golf. They're trying to convince him to narrate something on TV. And they get to the 9th hole, and as boys do, locker room talk.
Oh yeah.
And they all start talking about girls they've had sex with, and Ian's eating. And then one of the young executives goes, Sean's in. He goes, Sean, sure, you must have fucked a few girls in your day. Who have been some of your conquests? And Sean stands up, clears his throat, and walks away. And the older executive went, you fucking idiot. It's Sean fucking Connery. It's Sir Sean Connery. You fucking moron. He's been married for 60 fucking years. Who asked Sean Connery who the fuck he's fucked? Right? And then Sean comes back to the table and goes, sorry about that. Bit of indigestion. Ursula Andrews in the arse.
Me too.
Yeah. That's the story I've heard.
Yeah, there's a...
That could just be a myth, though.
Yeah, well, we'll see what the lawyers say. Again, we'll have to edit it. We'll see. I don't know.
Anyway,
Lots of sheep around here.
Anyway, there is footage somewhere of Sean Connery saying that he slaps women around.
Yeah, I think I remember actually seeing that too.
Yeah, no problem. He did it on TV.
But I think it's
and he looks indignant.
Yeah, let's say he came back to play James Bond again, which he's too old, he wouldn't do it. But let's say if he's in that realm, I think that stuff would start to come to surface, though. I think it's a part of, like, he's old, he's not acting, like, because a lot of it is is people that
what can you get from these people,
or
what can you take away from them?
Yeah, so.
And, he's retired, but, I think old Sean, there'd be some Me Too's.
Yeah, I mean.
If he just admits to slapping women.
But all the Bonds probably. Oh, well, the old school Bonds, you would think.
Timothy Dalton wouldn't.
Lazenby?
Oh, Lazenby, 100%.
Lazenby would be like, I did it.
Yeah, Lazenby's like, oh, someone wants to interview me. George Lazenby played my father in Legit, and George has some stories, I'm sure.
He's got a lot of...
I've visually seen George get up to no good, where I've gone, George, get back in your trailer. What are you doing?
All right, well, I think that's good.
Roger Moore wouldn't have. Roger Moore.
Why? Because he was so dignified with James Bond?
He would have just, can I open the door for you? And I'm going to raise one eyebrow. He would have done that stuff.
Is Daniel Craig done? We have one more. There's like one more.
You're going to be one. Okay, who do you want the next James Bond?
Who do I want the next James Bond?
I reckon it'll be, what's his name? Idris Elba.
Idris Elba?
Idris
Elba.
Elba.
That's what they're saying, yeah. He's, because, and there was the whole thing, you can't make James Bond black. Why is that?
Yeah, but you know what's going to happen? Paul Feig's going to direct the movie, and it's going to be...
a woman?
Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock? Jamie Bond.
James Bond. My father called me James because, he was about equal naming.
And then, so if there was a female James Bond, would they have sex with people to get information?
No,
that'd probably be much easier.
No,
they'd be like, "Hey, do you want to have sex?" Okay.
Yeah. How they would do it is they'd marry someone and then take half their money. Just
use the money
to ruin the company. Just to take down whatever the Skull Island they lived on.
Yeah. They wouldn't even have to dress. She wouldn't even have to dress nice. Just come down in pajamas. Like, all right, come in, have sex. I'm gonna get some
I got some information.
Yeah. Guys are not very discerning, is what we're trying to say.
Yes, and you can go down and you can go see Q and what gadgets have you got for me? Well, we've got this thing here. It's not really a gadget as much, it's an emotion. If you start crying, these guys will admit to anything. Just start crying.
Yeah, it's something you spray in your eyes to make yourself cry.
Just start crying halfway through an argument, the guy will crumble.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Let me buy you something right now. Here's the documents you wanted. And here's some jewelry.
Here's some jewelry. Don't do anything.
Please don't cry. It'll be an emotional roller coaster, those movies.
Yes.
But yeah.
And here's how you get information out of women, and we have an emotion called catty.
Yeah, that would be tougher. That's how you would have to do it. Like the main villain would be another female.
Oh yeah. Yeah, female James Bond.
Yeah,
She just fucking like offers sex and then just fucking gets through the whole building.
Yeah. She thinks it's easy.
All
Street.
fine. She gets up there, swivel chair, turns around.
Yeah.
It's a girl with a little dog on her lap.
Yeah, she's done.
Oh yeah. It's Paris Hilton with a little dog. It's not a man with a bald cat.
Yeah. She starts berating her outfit. You look fatter than I thought you'd look. What? She starts crying. It's not going to work on me. I can do the same thing. And she starts crying just to show her she can cry. Yeah. It's going to be a good one. Who'd you say is directing it?
Paul Feig.
Paul Feig, yeah.
Paul Feig's going to come in directly next day.
This is not sensitive. The Women's March was yesterday, Jim, and we're just kidding around about it.
I'm just made James Bond a woman.
Sarcastic. Being sarcastic.
Ocean's 9. Looking forward to it. Big fan.
Are you?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't look forward to Ocean's 13, so it's okay.
You're not in the Oceans. You didn't like Ocean's 11?
I loved Ocean's 11.
But Ocean's 12, everyone panned, the critics.
Yeah.
Said, I didn't mind it, but I get, but Ocean's 13.
You know what the bad bit was? The bad bit was when they made
Al Pacino was in Ocean's 13.
When they made Julia Roberts' character act like she was Julia Roberts. Like they went, hey,
yeah,
you look a bit like Julia Roberts. And she's like, I can't see it. And it's like...
Yeah, that was a big problem.
You know what happened? I felt like some of the A-list movie stars had some say in the script, and we shouldn't let them think.
Yeah, because then there's that whole scene where Bruce Willis sees her, and he goes along with that's the whole thing. Bruce Willis is Bruce Willis, and goes, yeah, you're right. That was bad.
That's
stupid.
That's
why that was bad. Okay. But Ocean's 13 wasn't bad.
And also, it was all about a fucking Fabergé egg.
Yeah.
It's whenever you buy...
Blame Eddie Izzard.
Why, what did he do?
He was in the movie.
Oh, yeah, fuck. What's Izzard been up to? I feel like he stopped acting a bit.
What's he been? I don't know. I think he's been in some things. I could look it up. I got a phone right here. Got a plane right here.
Fine if you can find the clip of Sean Connery admitting to hitting women.
Okay. Look that up. You gotta keep talking when I look that up.
Well, we can make a little edit here.
Oh, yeah.
Please pause for cocaine.
Movie magic. Sean Connery slapping a woman. I didn't even have to put that in.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go. Now, I because I want to have the exact quote. I don't want to misquote him on this.
You should interview it, what you said.
Hold up the microphone.
Oh, it's Barbara Walters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He's very unapologetic.
I'm gonna play it here. We'll see if we're allowed to play it. But we'll see. Okay, here we go.
You did an interview in which you said, it's not the worst thing to slap a woman now and then. As I remember, you said you don't do it with a clenched fist. It's better to do it with an open hand. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I didn't love that.
I haven't changed my opinion.
You haven't?
No, not at all.
You think it's good to slap a woman?
No, I don't think it's good.
You don't think it's bad,
I don't think it's that bad. I think that it depends entirely on the circumstances and if it merits it. Yeah.
What would merit it?
Well, if you have tried everything else, and women are pretty good at this, they can't leave it alone. They don't want to have the last word, and you give them the last word, but they're not happy with the last word. They want to say it again, and get into a really provocative situation. Then I think it's absolutely right.
What would...
In this particular video, they had him slap Barbara Walters at the end. That's what that was.
Right.
That wasn't real, that part.
They go, so you said it's good to slap a woman with an open hand. Yes, and I haven't changed my opinion
That's
on
fucking
that.
great. I thought it was just like going to be a clip of him like walking down the street. That was Barbara Walters.
That was Barbara Walters. and he's like, women are very good at this. You give them the last word, and then they keep going. Now, I'm with you there, Sean. I'm with you on that one.
Wow, that is incredible.
That's where you walk out of the room, or you get into your car and you drive over to your mate's house.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Yeah. That is crazy.
When you've exhausted every other option. When you've exhausted every other option.
That is crazy. Yeah, it's got to be he's old and he's not doing anything otherwise. Like that clip should be circulating.
That was shown in the 1980s, and that's from a clip from before he did Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Nah, he looks young there. Barbara Walters is young. Like
yeah,
that's a while ago.
Yeah, that's Steven Spielberg going, I'll still cast that guy.
I'll tell you, it says it doesn't say where it's from, but it's got to be. Even from the way the footage looks, it's got to. I don't even know. It's at least 20 years ago, maybe more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eddie Izzard. He is currently. Or he just did the Lego Man Batman movie.
Oh, he had a voice in that. Oh,
Voldemort does a lot of voiceover stuff. He does a lot of voiceover stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to act in comedies, but I think he does
some
voiceovers
movie
in
called
comedies.
Victoria and Abdul, and then he's got some upcoming projects they call back. I like him.
I like him too.
He has one of that stand-up bit about Star Wars, the Death Star Cantina.
The canteen.
He's so political, everything. That's like, if you haven't heard that ever, Eddie Izzard.
Can I have the penne ariata?
The Star Wars.
I could kill you with my mind.
Yeah, the Death Star Cantina is a hilarious bit.
You know who this is? Ted Vader.
Yeah, no, Jeff Vader.
Jeff Vader.
Jeff Vader.
I'm Darth Vader, the Darth Lord.
This is Darth Vader's brother, Jeff. Yeah, anyways, listen to it. All
My
right.
tray is wet.
We've been doing this an hour.
Yeah, so what did we learn?
Scotland.
We going to Scotland. We
Just
learned
like they like to stir some shit.
that Sean Connery's a slapper.
He's a slapper.
And it sounds like he hasn't slept once.
I'll tell you that what we learned is, I would say from this podcast is, there needs to be a channel, and I know someone would say C-SPAN, but it's not a news channel. There needs to be a news channel in the United States that there's absolutely no opinions on. That's just news. I would love to watch that because I've been enjoying the news again here. Like just learning shit. Like, I'm learning about
And you think that there's certain people who are more credible than others and more of this. It's almost like being credible in the news is not giving your opinion.
Yeah.
Because it's like now you just, who do you like's opinion is what you watch. And that's not news.
Yeah.
Watching Hannity isn't news. Hannity is just a guy giving his opinion. Watching, what's his name? The guy who does news, the gay guy, white hair.
Anderson
Cooper isn't news. Guy giving opinions.
Because even the best ones on either of the lame networks, there still creeps in what they think.
They creep in what they think. They bring on
think,
panelists, and occasionally, like they're interviewing someone, and they're like this. Oh, come on!
Yeah. They let their emotions come in, and they're like, "Are you serious?" And there's an argument, and then it goes on Facebook. Jake Tapper owns blah 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 blah. It's like, Fox News anchor destroys Democrat.
Destroys argument in 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's like, and then you watch it, and it's like lame.
And it's like those interviews shouldn't even be happening, people. They should not even be happening because they should happen on a show like mine, because we're just blatantly.
You have those shows. You have
comedy. You can have
on those networks.
shows.
You're like, you tune in late night. We're gonna have all of our opinions. And
yeah, you can have, and also Bill Maher does it with the debates and all that type of stuff and everything.
Because I gotta tell you, it's like obviously you don't want to be like, oh, dumb people think this. Like I start getting used to it. When I started watching news over here, I was like, oh, this seems weird. I'm like, oh, this is normal. This is how it should be back to normal. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah. So this I guess will be coming out in a day or two. So. Thanks again for listening. If you guys haven't subscribed already, subscribe to our podcast and rate us. And you can iTunes, and Google Play, and Stitcher. I don't have it in front of me. I don't know all the shit we're supposed to say. But I think that's it. Anything else you want to say, Jim?
Good night, America.
Keep it